right, Ken. It's been a long time coming. We've been friends on Facebook for as long as I can remember. So it's kind of like one of those inevitable interviews. We tried to set this up before. Thanks for finally sitting down to me to talk about Yippee video. I'm really excited. Thanks for joining me.
I appreciate you very much. Thank you.
Excellent, man. So, do you mind telling me a little bit about like the origin story of Yippee Video? What inspired you to launch a physical media company in today's streaming world, if you will? And then what's your experience with film?
I started the company in like 2022 as just a video rental store, just something to kind of screw around with to see if we could still make some money and keep a lot. We got renters, we had a lot of sales, and I started carrying the boutique labels, and those were moving. I knew Albert for a very long time, so I knew that Captain America was sitting there, and I had seen it, and I realized how crazy different it was and how much better it was, and I thought everyone should see it. So we made a deal, and it's out there now and doing really well.
What about you specifically? Like, what's your background with film? Did you go to film school? Do you have is there anything particular that kind of like makes this that much more special for you?
Yeah, I went to film school. I'm amateur fighters, and it was on for a little bit, and it was fun. And I ended up back in construction for a while, and we started the video store, and it kind of was all coming back. I knew Albert from just a simple Facebook post 20 years ago, probably. I commented something, he commented back, and then we just started chatting and became friends. And then I became friends with Cynthia too through that, and it was just a kind of a cool thing. It's like a guy that I always admired, and then he's interested in what I have to say, which I never thought would happen. After he passed, with everything, and we were able to get these movies going, it feels like I can pay him back some for all of everything and how kind he was, and it made me keep going in a lot of ways.
Yeah, that's really cool to hear, man. Yeah, it's kind of like kind of living past his time, which is kind of neat because I definitely agree. A lot of these films are very special. Kind of piggybacking off of that, though, how would you summarize the brand's identity? What do you stand for, and what kind of films do you champion? Who's your audience, if you will?
We're looking for more of the action market. We have a number of Albert's films we're going to do, but we do have some other filmmakers that we're working with, and we're going to release other films too. 2026 is going to be very busy for us. I have at least five more films that I have planned that are outside of Albert. I'll be telling everyone what those are soon, but and we're gonna keep going strong on the Albert stuff. We're restoring those and making them look good, and Roy's done an awesome job helping with that, and I'm looking forward to just keep going.
The choice of the name Yippee Video, it's bold, it's memorable. How did you settle on that, and what does it signal to fans and collectors?
Yippee Mother Video just comes from seeing Die Hard with my grandpa in the theater a long, long time ago, and it was the only movie him I ever went to the theater to see, and it stands out to me, and I was from then on forward. Nothing
Uh,
really super specific.
yeah,
I,
I assumed it had to do with Die Hard, which is it's cool to know.
yeah.
I know other boutique labels like Vinegar Syndrome. These labels have physical stores. Obviously, Yippee Video does have a physical store. Can you tell me about the store and what customers can come to expect from your in-store experience?
We have like 20,000 or so set titles set specifically just for renters, and another 50,000 titles that can be bought or sold. We do a club, so the guys just pay $15 a month, and they can come back in and exchange their stuff as often as they want. We also have a screening room in the back that we show stuff on Friday nights. It's never anything really specific, and if you have a membership, you can just show up.
Cool. And where is that location at?
I'm in Racine, Wisconsin right now, but we are moving at the end of the year to Amasa, Michigan. So we bought a building up there, and with how much we're planning and how much space it's taken to do the Pune stuff, we're happy to get our own building, our own space.
Awesome. Yeah, jumping into the Pune stuff or the Puniverse as it's referred to on your website, I really like that. That collection of Albert's, it's a very distinctive focus. Was there anything particular that draws you to his work? And I know you touched on it a little bit, but why is it important as far as or what where does it important where does it fall as far as importance within your brand's catalog? It I mean, and obviously right now it's one of the main attractions, but why was it Albert's work that kind of started all of this project for you?
I did plan on doing a boutique label of my own. Once I got further into this, it just happened to start sooner, and I was very happy to get Albert's thumbs, especially being such a long time fan. I mean, when I was a kid, I noticed, 12, 13 years old, Albert's name is it's everywhere in some of those pictures, and his movies felt like those were ones I could like get jobs on, and like it didn't seem completely crazy to want to work on a picture like that. You tell everyone I'm going to go make Star Wars, they're going to laugh at you. But if there's a practical way in, it felt like at least it felt like to me the way I want to do things.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And I think that that's what kind of caters to the audience. Like these do feel like reachable or achievable in a way. Can you tell me a little bit about the Captain America release and why do you think it was so successful, especially enough to get a second print?
It's an amazing movie. I mean, it's nothing like the edit that was released. Albert was doing something very specific. It's kind of like the it almost sucks to be Steve Rogers movie in a lot of ways. Um, but he told a very personal story, and it's something that was probably very unexpected for a studio to look at. I mean, they can't really sell toys off of this movie, but as adults, you're like, this is amazing.
Awesome. Yeah, is that why you think that this release was so successful? Like, do you think maybe like social media, word of mouth, and then like kind of like the like I know I've been hearing about this release for years. Maybe that this is just something like the audience has been kind of craving, and now is the right time to kind of release it.
I think so. I mean, he had that print for a very long time. He just never did anything with it. He had it in his closet forever. But he did re-edit a version of Captain America that he released, like 2012 or so. That was like his memory of what the cut he had on. So people have that version and confuse it with our version. I understand, and our version is exactly how we intended, in a scan of the print.
Very cool. What about Road to Hell? I've been hearing a little bit about this one lately. Pretty solid cast. What about this film excites you?
It's a very odd film. It's hard to describe too, and it's probably not going to be for everyone, which probably isn't the thing to say when I'm trying to sell DVDs of this stuff. But if you understand what's going on in here, and it's like I said, it's a hard film to explain.
It has a really good cast, and I'm a real big fan of the cover art as well. So I mean, I'm definitely intrigued. Is there anything about it that excites you particularly?
The fact that I was able to put all three versions of the movie on here because he initially concepted the film as like a short. So there was a 53-minute version on there that didn't have as much of the Streets of Fire recognizable music that it did.
Yeah.
Second cut brought Roxy Gunn in, who was really great. And she added a lot, and she does the thing up, I think, and that's once you watch that version, the director's cut, then you can go back and watch the other two versions and really see where it started and where it got to and where it finished off.
Yeah. And I've also been hearing rumblings, or I guess seeing rumblings of a Cyborg director's cut. Can you talk a little bit about that and how that kind of came to be?
Yeah, that's Slinger. We're calling that as Albert did. We're gonna have three or four versions on our disc for that. One I'm a little worried about with some music that we may have to figure out, but it's an original first generation work print this time around. There was one released years ago that was probably a second or third generation VHS dub that just went around, and this is not that version. This is more clean and more clear looking, like the Captain America. That's another scan, and it's a vastly different movie again. And I don't know if it's better. It's as good, that's for sure. And I think both versions deserve to be seen, and they can live right next to each other. It's their own thing, really.
Yeah, definitely. I
Plus, a
think
little
that
bit
that's
better.
I think that that's kind of what's most important about these releases is that you're bringing out something that not a lot of people have had the opportunity to see, and there is work and love and care put into these projects, regardless of what cut of the film we're actually getting to see, which I think is really cool. Kind of taking it a little bit of a different turn here. How did you deal with getting the catalog? How did that come about? And ultimately, how did you secure the rights? And what were those conversations like, with the estate and partners to make all of this happen on the back end?
Albert retained the rights for the Captain America movie from Menachem Golan. He um he directed the next movie, Deceit, for them, and $500 to retain the rights to the director's cut. And I'm sure at the time, like, no one thought he'd ever do anything with it, right? I mean, why would at that time director's cuts really weren't a thing on VHS by that, 1990. So they probably thought they got to the better deal, but I think in the end, Albert got a much better deal. I mean, look, these people are looking back at his career like maybe I missed something, and I think Captain America is going to be a big jumping off point to see the films like Road to Hell that are very personal, and it's about a soldier without a war to fight. But I think so you kind of read in those little nuances and see he's a very, very talented man.
Yeah, and specifically for the fans, there because I think you said or you mentioned like people are starting to kind of take a look back at these things, and I think that that's why it's kind of the perfect time to strike. For the fans, are there any special features or packaging features that kind of stick out to you that are tied to this to these collections that maybe someone might not really think about when it comes to extras, if you will.
Yeah, we got Roxy Gunn as a special feature on the Road to Hell disc. The same with Michael Pare, who was really really nice and gave us his interview as well. On Interstellar Civil War, which we have coming up in 2026. Paul Gunn sent us a great video. He's been in a lot lately, and some of these people cooperating with us, like Mike Leader. He did a feature for Road to Hell as well, and him and I are doing a commentary any day now for Cyborg or Slinger, and as that dude, I mean, I listened to his stuff so much, and now he's like a guy I talk to almost every day, and it's all blossoming because we started this, and we're gonna keep going.
Yeah, man. It's really cool. And I want to talk a little bit about the restoration or the remastering process with these films. How do you take like previous something that's previously unreleased or that's hard to find and get it up to like today's standard as far as like 4K, Blu-ray 1080p. What's that process like?
We'll probably do another scan of Captain America in 4K eventually, but right now, that was when it was scanned. I don't. That wasn't how it was done. We had a 2K scan done of that. Some of the stuff, though, some of the remaining elements are rough. I
Yeah.
found stuff with no titles, no label. A number of the auditions I found for Road to Hell were on a CD, just a CD of video. And so those aren't the best, but they're there. I mean, so
Yeah.
we can see them, and there's quite a bit there. It's like about an hour, I think, of that. There's quite a bit, and there's a number of actresses going for both roles of the girls in that film.
That's really cool. Yeah, it's like those like I guess you could almost consider those like hidden items that really don't get seen by the general public. Is there any like holy grail items like as far as like the catalog that you'd love to get out or maybe you haven't done yet?
We want Radioactive Dreams. I'm actively pursuing Radioactive Dreams and Blood Match, which is in the background where you're sitting there.
Yeah.
Um, that's one of my favorite ones of his, really. And he made that movie in like 2 or 3 days. I recently interviewed Tom Matthews about it, and they shot that film. And I knew some of this stuff already on the closing set of Kickboxer 2. So he put together a second movie in like a weekend's time, and it's one of his best films.
In terms of future opportunities, are you looking at other cult directors in the same way that you've kind of taken on Albert's stuff? And if so, I know that you kind of mentioned, the tease that there's some stuff coming out in 2026, but can you give like a hint or is there any can like a wink and a nod as to like who you're thinking?
I've been talking to him. You guys know his stuff. He's a little maligned as well, but I think his stuff is deserves a second look too. It's very fun and campy and video gamey. I mean, that could be your hint.
Ooh, I like it. I like it. And so far, how has the collector fan base kind of responded to Albert's releases? Any surprising or fun feedback that you'd like to share?
What I was surprised about is how many of these random YouTubers that responded and did videos about us that I had no conversation with prior. Secret Galaxy did a great video on us. It's very informative and super well done. And I was unable to say thank you to that guy any other way. So thank you, Secret Galaxy, if you're watching.
Very cool. Yeah, I actually saw that. I'm subscribed, and when that popped up, man, I got really excited just because the more eyes on this prize, the more the brand can succeed. So I'm really excited to see what happens next. And speaking of which, do you have any events tied to upcoming releases, in-store signings, screenings, festivals? What should we keep our eye on, man?
We have a screening of Captain America in LA at the Frida on December 6th at 7 p.m. We're really looking forward to that. We're going to have a guy in a Captain America suit for some photo ops. I'll have a video booth of stuff for sale and posters, and we're going to have a really good time.
Awesome. Yeah. Is there any other tours like with films that you guys are planning on doing here in the future?
Yeah, in 2026, we're trying to plan out numerous screenings all over the country of not just Captain America, but the other ones that we have to do with. It'll be fun, and I think people will show up. And I mean, you've never seen some of these films and the versions they are, so it's really fun. Really happy to be doing this, and I just couldn't be happier to be doing this.
Yeah, yeah. I've been hearing rumblings as to what's happening next, so I'm pretty excited myself. Speaking of, rumblings and little birdies, can you talk a little bit about your relationship with Roy Dam? I know that you hinted at him a little bit earlier in the convo, but can you kind of explain like
Yeah.
what where he kind of falls in the process?
Um, I think he does awesome work, and some of the things he's done has been just great, and they're better than some physical releases that have come out for sure. Um, like I said, I had a number of his discs, and I had a problem with my first DVD of Thor, and I reached out to him, and we started talking, and then he started helping with the digital registration part that made it a lot better. I mean, ridiculously better. And he puts together our discs, and we're super happy. He's also the guy involved in all the screenings too. So he's been a lot of help. I appreciate him a lot.
Awesome, man. Well, to wrap up, is there anything that you want to mention about, the brand Yippee video or the tour or just anything, man? The ball is in your court. I just want to give you an opportunity to discuss or mention anything that I may have missed.
Um, I think 2026 is going to be a big year for us. We have a lot planned, like I said, just beyond Albert's stuff. But I have a lot of Albert's films left to do, and we're taking our time to um, do them properly. And then it seems like every time we get close to a finish line, somebody else jumps in. They're like, "We'll help," and they're involved in one of the films. So then, I wait 2 or 3 weeks, and we'll add them to the disc and whatever we got to do. Um, I think it's. I mean, we waited this long for some of this stuff, so you pre-ordered, you'll get your stuff. There's no doubt you'll get your stuff. But if I can keep adding to it and make it take an extra 2 or 3 months, I think that should be just fine, and everyone will be happier with the product that they receive in the end anyway.
Exactly. Yeah, so far so good, man. And I couldn't have said it better myself. Speaking of which, if there's anything I can do to help spread the word, do not hesitate to reach out.
Thank you.
Ken, like I mentioned, in the beginning, I've known you for a bit. It's really great to see you succeed in this way. I'm always, pushing for more physical media, especially good physical media and stuff that, not a lot of people get to see. So to cap it off, man, here at CineDump, we let the doers know how they're doing. And Ken, you're doing just fine. Thank you so much for your time. Thanks for talking physical media, and I'll see you at the screening, man.
Thank you. Thank you. Look forward to it.
Awesome, buddy.